On today's episode, we talk about sales. And who doesn't want more sales? Well, today, we talk about how to get them. And I'm not joking. I literally probably gave one of the best analogies I could ever give on how simple it can be to increase your sales and grow your business. And so, without further ado, let's cue the intro and let's get into the episode. Welcome back. Welcome back to another episode of The Mind of George Show. If you're watching this on video, you'll notice that the video changes every time because I am still figuring out my new studio. I have my lighting nailed, but I'm working on the background, the cameras. I'm getting all fancy over here. And truth be told, this is my first time ever in my entrepreneurial career that I've ever had my own dedicated office outside of my home. And so it's like a kid in a playground, like that movie Big with Tom Hanks, except I have like decision fatigue. So I actually cracked the other day and I bought a course from an amazing creator online on how to design my own studio. And it's actually been great. It's the first course I've ever bought that I've actually sat down to go through because I'm excited, but I really want to look perfect and I want my background to be amazing and I want cool stuff in it. And this has nothing to do with today's podcast, but it's a really good way to start. So I'm here in beautiful Montana today. It's raining outside, but it's heavenly, like 50 degrees, rain, mountain view. And I'm telling you this because you're supposed to come visit Montana, because if you haven't gotten your event ticket yet, we are 60% sold out and we haven't even fully marketed it yet. So they're going to go quick. The first 60 tickets went in about a week and a half, 2 weeks. And so we're about to start pushing it because there's only about 14 days left. So if you haven't gotten your ticket to Montana yet, go to mindofgeorge.com and it's linked on the homepage. If it is not linked on the homepage, they are gone. So I challenge you to go look, because today's episode is about sales and it's about how to get more of them. And I'm going to be breaking this down in depth, in person, with work, breakout rooms and overview and feedback circles and everything at our event in Montana. And I'm nuts. I've lost my mind a little bit. I'm doing the event tickets at cost because I miss human beings. We're going to be hugging, high-fiving, unless you wear a red bracelet and says don't touch us. But most of us are going to be wearing green bracelets and we're ready to party in Montana. So we're going to be talking about time, sales, and retention. But today we're going to be talking about sales, specifically how to get more of them. And so what I'm going to talk about today is what I call our 3-step visibility and marketing strategy. So this is our 3-step visibility and marketing strategy. And so when you think about it, it's broken down into 3 very, very simple parts. Part number 1 is attention. Part number 2 is context. And part number 3 is customer journey. You know, my favorite little thing to talk about ever. And customer journey is the one thing that I will obsess about for the rest of my existence in this existential meat suit, however long that may be. But my goal is for it to be at least another 75 years. So you have at least 75 years of listening to me talking about customer journey, because there is not one point in the entire world, universe, existence from now into the future where customer journey will never matter. And so sales. So attention, context, and customer journey. So when I say attention, what do I mean? I mean attention, and we're going to use our lighthouse analogy here, is that when you shine the light out of your lighthouse, that boats see it. See, cars, they don't do any good seeing light at lighthouses, because if they drive straight to the light, they're going to bump into stuff. They're going to crash through houses, right? Lighthouses are designed to help people in the water. And the attention part of sales is stopping your ideal customers dead in their tracks and getting them to see and hear what you have to say. I watch so many people right now trying to hoard attention for potential, right? If you post cat memes and humorous videos and then try to turn around and sell educational content, you're going to lose. There is a such thing as bad attention. I don't care if I have 1 million social media followers if none of them are my ideal client. I would rather have 100 of the right people who actually consume my content, move one step closer, and can actually become my customer. Because here's a news flash. If you sell a women's weight loss supplement and you have all dudes that follow you, it's not going to do well. If you sell a car and you are getting the attention of 11-year-olds, it's not going to help your business, and it probably won't for 10 years because they're probably not going to buy your car in 5 or 6 years either. And so it actually matters that you focus on getting the attention of the right customer. And the secret of selling is not trying to convince people to buy your product. It's enrolling the right people into what they realize that they now need or want based on your content. For example, I can go run all the ads I want for my women's clothing boutique, and if all I get is men to walk through the door, very few of them are going to convert because they're not going to know what size to buy their partner, what to get, and she's going to return it anyway, so I'm not really advertising to my ideal client. So yeah, maybe I have 100,000 followers, but if they're all dudes and none of them are my demographic, it's not going to work. And so you have to make sure that you are aligning yourself as a business and a brand, or i.e. as a lighthouse, consistently and congruently with the right messaging. And so when you think about attention, there's only a few places to get attention when it comes to selling, and that's understanding traffic. Traffic, traffic, traffic. I talk about traffic. I'm going to keep talking about traffic because there's only 3 ways to get traffic: owned traffic, earned traffic, and paid traffic. And other than that, there's nothing really to focus on. And the reason that those things aren't effective is because people try to get the wrong traffic, or the wrong, let's say it again, they get traffic, but for the wrong reason, right? They're using messaging, or they're using content, or they're posting things that aren't relevant to their ideal customer. And so they're getting all this attention through earned media. People are sharing these cat memes and funny videos, but they're not really earning the right attention. They're earning the wrong attention. And the wrong attention will cost you your business. You will have customer service costs. You will have team costs. You will have a whole lot of costs. Some of these people might buy your product, but then you're going to have high refunds, high complaints, high chargebacks, because it wasn't the right audience. And so the foundational part of selling is being clear on who you are and who you serve, and then being consistent and congruent to that messaging, so that everything that you're doing to promote your product, your service, or your offer through whatever channel it is, whether it's owned traffic, earned traffic, or paid traffic, is going out to the right people, so that when they see your light, they're like, ah, that's the light I need. Oh, that's the destination I'm going. Oh, that's the direction I want to head. That's what's likely to help me. And then the people like, ah, that's not my flavor. Nope, I'm not interested in that. Go away with a positive experience to tell other people how awesome you are, or the color of your light. And so consistency and congruency is the name of this game. And so the first part of selling is making sure that you're stopping your ideal customers dead in their tracks and getting them to pay attention so they can see and hear what you have to say, moving them one step closer into your ecosystem. So that's part 1. Part 2. Part 2 is what we like to call context. And context is kind of the overview of the container. So I want you to think of context like The Truman Show. If you've ever seen that movie with Jim Carrey, right? Or Your World, and they're just living in it. Or your version of The Matrix. Pick your movie analogy. But context is you building a world that only your ideal customers live in, but they have a place to live while collecting touch points to make a purchasing decision. Because newsflash, every time you see a billboard, you don't pull over and buy. Every time you hear a radio ad, you don't pull over and buy. Every time you see a Facebook ad, you don't pull over and buy. Sometimes you do, sometimes it's a touch point, but it's part of a big world so that you're encompassed and touched, moving you closer to that product or service if it's a good fit. And so context, when it comes to selling, is enrolling your best customers into what you have to offer and getting them to salivate over it. And here's a secret. Successful businesses have customers lined up at the door to buy their product, tell their friends about the product, share their experiences about their product. And I see people all the time. I think it was Justin Goff who I heard say this. And he's an amazing copywriter, writes copy, massive success. And he's like, everybody thinks when they get 100 buyers that they want to go get 1,000 buyers. And they're like, I should just get 1,000 buyers. 1,000 buyers, I can scale to 1,000 buyers. And he's like, if your offer was good enough, it would already have 1,000 buyers. It's not a ads problem or a traffic problem. If you only have 100 buyers and you get more attention, you're not going to magically go to 1,000 because there's an ingredient missing. Because you think about the best products, the best offers, the best services, they sell out. They have waiting lists. they have people screaming to buy it because it's the right people. And so context is you building a world where your ideal customers, once you get their attention, like you stop them in their tracks, they can move into your ecosystem, like they can head into your direction and they're in this world. And remember, in this world, there's only 4 journeys that they can take, but the world has to exist for them to take this journey. And so think about it like it's a brick and mortar store. People are driving by on the road, and attention is you getting it. But once you get it, you get them into the parking lot and park, and then they get to walk into your department store. And when they're in your department store, that store is yours. In that store, you have your brand story, you have your messaging, you have consistency and congruency throughout the store. Like you're not trying to sell toilets next to a hot dog stand with a movie theater, pizza, popcorn. You know what I mean? Like you have your consistency and congruency as your brand in that store. So then you've gotten their attention, and the context is you've moved them into your container. And now that they're in your container, they can window shop like IKEA, right? You can hand out Swedish meatballs and let them walk laps around the store as they figure out what they want. And there's a chance that they'll walk through the whole store and have a good experience but not buy anything. There's a chance they'll walk through the whole store and sign up to get coupons via email, or this in exchange for this, or a free consultation, or a free blank, pick your lead magnet. Or they'll walk in and be like, I want this, let me buy it, right? There's only one of those 4 journeys exists when we get there. But your job is to build a world so that when they're in your world, they are engrossed in your world. And your goal is to do one of 2 things. To either get them to realize through your consistency and congruency and your messaging and your story that they belong there. That way, they are your ideal customer, or them to realize this is not my world. I don't want this. I don't need this, and have them leave on a positive note. Because you can have the wrong people in your store for as long as you want. You can even trap them, but the wrong people are never going to buy your products. And here's a secret. The people that buy your products are the ones that actually build and fund your business to then go find more people. And so attention doesn't pay the bills. Attention utilized correctly can help get the right people to pay the bills, but you have to have the people paying the bills to start with. Mike Michalowicz covers this the best in his books, Fix This Next, where he has this business hierarchy of needs. And we all have needs. There's different holes in different businesses at different points. But at the end of the day, one of the hierarchies, one of the needs in that hierarchy, or his pyramid, right? Like he took Maslow's hierarchy of needs and made it for business. It's mind-blowingly genius. But one of those needs is sales. And so you can have all these different holes, but if you don't have the money to fund them, it's not going to do any good. So context is building this world. So you get their attention. They're driving by. I'm flashing lights. Maybe I'm on the street waving banners. If you're not watching this, I'm dancing up and down right now. Right? I get them to park, and I only want them to come in the store if they're somewhat interested, but the store looks appealing from the outside. Maybe that's the messaging that they can see. They can see the branding, the story. They come inside, and then everything in that store is around what I have to offer. Right? It's all around the same thing. And so no matter what, as they go through the store, they're consistently getting a touch point. This is what we do. This is how we help, as they identify what their needs are. Or they're like, God, I thought I needed this, but I really don't. And then they leave, but they had a good experience, so they send their friends. So context is you building that world. That's it. And so that's your consistent and congruent brand messaging, story, and then where you're promoting it out there, right? You then take that to promote on earned media, owned media, paid media, and you're getting the right attention of the right customers into your world to then move you into the third aspect. And the third aspect, my favorite one, customer journey. Customer journey. And that is the easy part. That is leading your best customers forward to the next step of their journey. And so what do you have to understand here? You have to understand that it's a journey. And you can't determine how that journey looks, how long or how short it is. You can determine how you show up consistently, congruently, while your ideal customers take that journey or become your ideal customers. This is simple. You show up consistently and congruently, and then people are really clear that this is what you have to offer. So if you're showing up and giving them bits and pieces, like let's say it's a design studio, right? Like this is how to decorate your home. This is how to decorate your bathroom. This is how to do blah, blah, blah. And then your store is around decorating, where they can either opt in and you'll give them your free decoration guide, right? Or they can buy your products and they can do it themselves, or you'll do their consultation and sell them products, and that's done for you. All of that can be accomplished in the same store. And then every day that they're in there, you're just talking about designing your home and how to do this and how to notice this and what colors go where and how that makes it feel and the feng shui of this and the flow of this and the layout here and the space in the room here and the way that looks on the wall and the size of the mirror. But no matter what, it's helping lead your best customer one step forward in their journey. And so for your sales to be effective, summarized, you have to get the attention of your ideal clients and customers to stop them in their tracks to get them to park in your parking lot. And once you get them to park in your parking lot, the context comes in where that's your store, that's your world, that's your brand, that's your presence that you're building online. And you need to think of it like it's a brick and mortar store so that it matches what you advertised on the street. And they get to come in that store and they get to start their customer journey. They get to walk around and learn about your products and your offerings and get to realize like, oh, I didn't know I could design my room this way, or I didn't know that I could have that, or oh, that's really simple. And they get to pick their path in your store. They come up to you and they're like, God, I'd love your help. And like, God, I really love it if you just help me with this. You're like, cool, give me your email. I'd love it if you help me with this. Cool, give me your credit card. It's only $97. God, I really just need your help to do it all. Cool, hire me. I'll do it with you, or I'll do it for you. And I'll go through boom, 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 boom. And this happens in your business, whether it's a physical product, whether it's a digital product, it doesn't matter. And so you effectively selling is understanding how to get the attention of your ideal customer, building the world, i.e. the context, building the world or the container for them to live in and come in. And then inside of that container, they're taking the customer journey at their pace because you understand that they're navigating this customer journey and everybody's coming in at different points. Some might have their home built, ready to be decorated. Some might be building it. Some might be doing the blueprints and designing it. But either way, they're all your ideal customers. They're just at different stages of their journey. And if you build the world to keep them in, they'll stay in that world. They'll spend money over time. They'll tell their friends about you, and they will keep coming back to support your business because you're supporting moving them one step closer and one step closer and one step closer and one step closer to their ideal end state, which is whatever that's identified in your business. I think I forgot to breathe most of that conversation. But when you think about your business, physical product, digital product, doesn't matter to me. Coach, consultant, service-based, doctor, practitioner, you could sell batteries or do oil changes. It's all the same because it's all about the principles. And so what I just shared with you is that overview of the sales section of our TSR method, right? So we talked about time, that's sales, and in a future episode, we're going to be talking about retention so you have an understanding of it. And this is what I really help people do. This is what I love doing, identifying how you get the attention of that right customer with belief-shifting content and things that are enrolling them in. So it's not about, can I post 28 times a day? Who cares? Who cares? It's like, can I post once every couple days and have people come salivating over my content, like pre-sold and ready to go and ready to consume my content? Yeah. And do I have a world that they can live in, always moving consistently, congruently closer to their goals? Yes. Do they get rewarded in that world? Do they bring their friends in that world? Do they opt in that world? Do they buy in that world? Do they refer customers in that world? Do they become testimonials in that world? Yes, 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 and yes. So you got to take a 30,000 foot view of this one, and you got to take a step back and realize that the quality of attention that you get comes from your ability to be clear, consistent, and congruent with your messaging, so you're only attracting that right attention. And that's the baseline of your sales. And then once you have that attention, that there is a walking storefront, right? There's curb appeal here in your business. Imagining your digital business has curb appeal, what your profiles look like, what your website looks like, what your social looks like. And that appeal is what gets them to walk in the door to then be a part of that journey. And when they're on that journey, you only want them to do one of two things: identify that they belong and stay in, or identify that they don't belong and then go tell their friends who do belong to come over, because there's a better fit for them. And you can keep the wrong people and the wrong attention in your store as much as you want, and you can have the wrong people consuming your content and filling your ego, but none of those wrong people are going to become the right customer. And the right customer is the one who's going to fund your business and help you build it to achieve your goals, have the impact, and then find more of them. So that's all I want to talk about today. that's it. Beautiful rainy day in Montana. Looking, if you're watching this on video, my studio that changes. I got a blue light behind me today, but I think I look really flattering on this camera. And tell you to get a ticket to Montana. And if you're listening to this after the event in Montana, well, you're going to have to go sign up for the next one because I'm going to keep doing the Lighthouse Business Accelerator. But I want you to take this, and I want you to take some time to think about this. And I'd actually challenge you. I'd actually challenge you when you're done listening to this to go take 30 minutes with a pen and a piece of paper and just sit in silence and reflect. Reflect on this. Ask yourself these 3 questions. Question number 1. Am I getting the right attention? And be honest with yourself. No, nobody's engaging, or yeah, people are commenting, but nobody takes action. And you have to start there because you have to be aware of where you are if you want to do something different. The next question. Do I have the right world built? Do I have the right curb appeal and storefront to attract my ideal customer, repel my non-ideal customer, and give them the desire to walk in? Reflect on that one. And then the third one is that once I've gotten them in the door, do I have a world designed that no matter what, they're always moving one step closer to their goal until they self-identify it's time to take one of those 4 paths to the pier that George talks about, to either leave or give me your email, or leave, give me your attention, consume some more content, give me your email, or buy something. And I want you to just take a time to reflect on those and reflect and see, like, where can you find holes? Where are you doing it great? Reward yourself, acknowledge yourself, and then be like, wow, where can I tweak this? Where can I clean this up? Because at the end of the day, your business is simple. You have to get the attention of your ideal customer. You have to give them a world that they want to come into, and then you have to allow them to be in that world as long as required for them to learn what they need to learn, to then give you their email or credit card to then achieve their goal. And then once you have that process nailed, you then repeat it and then scale it, and that's how you're going to generate more sales. So this has been another episode of the Mind of George Show. It's been a pleasure. I love spending time with you. I love this podcast. And we have some surprises coming on the podcast soon. But either way, have an absolutely beautiful day. Remember that I will see you in the next episode, or you will hear me in your earballs. And of course, relationships always beat algorithms. So have an absolutely beautiful